Hi, I'm Brodi from Brodi's Kitchen, and tonight I'm making chocolate mousse with my son Hunter. He's super excited. This was actually Charlie's request, but I don't think anybody's going to be upset about having chocolate mousse for dessert. So we're making it with 70% dark chocolate, so it's going to be nice and rich chocolate. And we're adding very little sugar to this dessert. It's 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Some people put this much sugar in a cup of coffee, and this is going to be for the entire dessert for everyone. And I'm using, as you know, Florida crystal sugar, always my favorite, the only sugar that's made here in the US sustainably, so check it out if you haven't. And it has heavy cream, which definitely has a lot of fat, but it's really satisfying, and it has so much volume of air between the egg whites and the whipped cream that a little bit goes a really long way. So the first thing I'm going to do is whip my cream. So I'll show you how to do that, and we'll follow this step by step. I have my whipped cream, shaking it up because sometimes the fat can separate together. And I think Hunter's stealing some chocolate chips from behind me. So I'm going to take 1/2 cup, and it's always good to use, I have these glass measuring cups in all different sizes, but the cream needs to be cold, coming straight from the fridge, to be able to whip up. And it's really simple. If you think whipped cream is hard, all you have to do is put cold cream in a bowl, put it with I have my whisk attachment on here, and that's all you have to do. Turn it on. So the next step, while we're doing that, we're going to chop up some chocolate, and we're going to put this in a stainless steel bowl. And the reason we do that, we're going to put it in a double boiler, or a bain-marie, if you've ever heard that French term, so that we will put this bowl, you may need a slightly bigger bowl, so we're going to get a bigger bowl. Maybe you can help me do that? That way, because you do not want the chocolate touching the heat directly. So you want indirect heat, so the steam is going to come up and gently melt the chocolate. So let's get another bowl. All right, so we're back. So our whipped cream is nice and fluffy. And I ended up actually having to add in a little more cream. Sometimes if you don't have enough, there isn't enough for the mixer to get in and mix it. So I'll have to kind of adjust and figure out the right quantity when we're actually making the recipe, but it wasn't mixing because I didn't have enough. Now I'm gonna do the eggs because I know this is tough. So 2 eggs, and I have to separate them between the whites and the yolks. And it's very important not to get any yolk or anything else in with our whites. Think we got it?
Yeah.
Hold it like that. Don't squeeze it. Just gently. And the white's gonna come off. And then we go and throw the yolk over in our glass bowl over here. Probably need to wash your hands.
Yeah.
Ew. What I'm gonna do is I have my egg yolks and that tiny bit of sugar that we're using.
No, I want 3.
You wanna mix? Mix it up, bud. Love it. Mix, 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 mix. So, bigger bowl, chocolate. I'm gonna set it on top of the boiling water.
Is this enough?
I don't know. Let me see. No, we are wanting to. So, if you can see, it's pretty bright yellow. And we are going to mix it. We want it to get kind of a little paler color. And part of that is the sugar dissolving into the egg. It's starting to be a pale color. So perfect. And the sugar, you can't really see any of the granules of sugar in there anymore. So that's what we're looking for. So we'll set that right here, and we are going to start to whip up our egg whites. All right, so we have everything assembled. We have our whipped cream.
And our chocolate cake.
Our chocolate, melted chocolate, probably the most important thing, obviously. And we have our egg whites. Now, this bowl actually is going to be okay. It was sitting on top of the boiling water, so sometimes I use a mitt when I'm working with it. Now, we have those egg yolks. Now, what I'm going to do is take just 1 of that teaspoon and I'm gonna add a little bit of that hot chocolate in and whisk it. And the reason that's for tempering your eggs, because if I were to add hot chocolate that was over boiling water into the eggs, it can scramble them. So if you add just a tiny bit, kind of normalizes or the temperature of the eggs. It's called tempering the eggs. So it's important to keep you from cooking your eggs. So now I'm going to pour that into my chocolate.
It's gonna be good after.
Good, yes. Starting to look delicious, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. So we have that. I'm going to stir that all around.
That
You can
looks
see
good.
it does look good, doesn't it?
It looks like it's chocolate now.
It does. And now it's a matter of incorporating the whipped cream and the egg whites very gently so that we don't lose too much of the volume. Here's our whipped cream. And it's not such a bad thing that we had extra whipped cream. Because now we can serve the whipped cream on top. So I'm going to take 2 spoonfuls of the whipped cream. Here's my other guy, Charlie. He's the one that requested chocolate mousse. We've made all different types of mousse. We also make strawberry mousse and raspberry mousse. Raspberry happens to be one of my favorites, actually.
And what else did he do?
Oh, and also Charlie today saved our dog Duncan.
And
Duncan
he's the one.
fell into the pool in the deep end, and Charlie was outside with him and had to jump into the pool and rescue him. So
Yeah, he's a 2-week-old puppy.
2-month-old pup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, can you get me
Yeah.
a big spoon?
Yeah. And Charlie was the one who was the idea of the company, right?
Oh yeah, he's the one that got us baking to begin with. So he is pretty important. Look at these really fluffy, light as air. They look like a cloud, these egg whites. This is just egg white, nothing else. And I'm going to just put that in, remove the whipped cream so you can see. Now this is the trick, to try to fold it in and not lose some of that volume. This is what makes it light and airy. And it's great because this is also what makes this, a healthier dessert, because it's really chocolate, not a lot of sugar, the egg yolk, egg white, and cream. So I think that this is, as far as desserts go, I always feel like this is a pretty good dessert to serve my family. So I've got that just gently mixed around. Now I'm going to add the rest of the egg whites. So light as air.
Make them all lighter.
Makes it lighter. Put it all in there. And goodness, I don't know what's going on. There we go. So I really love these rubber spatulas because they really help me get the last bits out of the bowl. So we'll add in that last half of the egg whites. Just kind of gently folding them around. And then we will add in the whipped cream. And you can always play around. I saw some recipes that called to add vanilla. Some added a little bit of espresso. That's all different flavors. And that can really be added in with vanilla. You have to be careful with the temperature. So vanilla can't get too hot or it ruins the taste. But espresso or any other flavors. And then the extracts, they can actually be really good to add into the whipped cream. So you could even add peppermint if you wanted to go crazy around the holiday time. But I think
Not
this
Christmas.
is, well, it's not Christmas yet, but people might start thinking about it. All right, so we have it all mixed up. Now let me tell you my other at-home dessert trick. portion control. So we have these really adorable, cute little bowls that we use for ice cream. They're perfect for mousse. So they're a perfect single serving size. And that way, everyone has a reasonable amount. And we are going to, usually you would put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for about 8 hours. We don't have that kind of time. And I'm sure in your life you maybe don't have that kind of time either. So we're just gonna cheat and put them in the freezer, and they are going to be perfect for us in time for dinner. All right, I will show you the final product.
There for now.
So what's the early reviews of the batter?
Really good. Can I put my
She doesn't always want to try the batter.
filming?
Very good.
Can I be the only one?